Hey, Eugene here. I'm an insurance agent just like you, and I created a tool that will help us determine whether or not we're going to get paid on any one particular product that we may be offering. This year especially, there's been a lot of changes in the carrier offerings with products from last year to this year on plans that we may be able to present, plans that we may not be able to present, and whether or not we're going to be compensated for those plans. So what you'll do is you'll put your CMS plan name into the tracker, and it'll tell us if it's going to be a reduced commission, if it's going to pay no commission, if maybe there's a service area reduction and there's an action required where you have to rewrite these people because their benefits won't continue. Maybe it's a non-renewal with certain carriers where you have to make a plan change. Some carriers make a recommendation on which plan that they recommend. This tool will be able to show you all of that stuff. So if you're curious on whether or not you're going to get paid, this tool is designed for you. The next segment is actually going to be me putting the information into the tool, and you'll be able to kind of walk through it with me on how it works. I'll also put screenshots down below, so that way you can just scroll down and you can kind of see exactly how it works. So if you're curious whether or not you're going to get paid, again, this is for you, and me and my agency have been using it already, which has helped us determine whether or not we're going to get paid on policies that we're presenting. I hope this helps, and I'll see you at my computer.
So what's going to happen is the first thing you'll do is you'll get to pick whether or not you want to do a $15 a monthly subscription, or if you want to pay once a year at $99 for the entire year. So then what we'll do is we'll just click the monthly, if you want to do that, whatever one you want to do. And then you're going to scroll to the very bottom, and you'll get to pick if you want to pay with your PayPal. You can pay with your PayPal. If you want to pay with a debit or credit card, so that's what I'll do. Now this is super, super, super important. For the time being, we're only going to use Gmail accounts. And I'm going to put in my Gmail account here. You'll get an email that gives you the URL to the lookup tool, and you'll need to use the same Gmail that you used when you placed your order, and you're going to sign in with that Gmail account. It's very, very important that you use the same Gmail account to sign in. Otherwise, you will not get access. And there's only one access per Gmail account. So you won't be able to use multiple Gmail accounts or use the same Gmail account for multiple access. So let's use a real world application here. So in this person's profile, we see that their current plan is this particular plan right here. And there's nothing indicating in Sunfire, which is what I use, of what's going to happen with this plan. We don't know if it's renewing. We don't know if it's being canceled. All it says is that this is her current plan. So when I look at 2026, and I'm going to try to find this plan -067, I'm going to filter by the carrier. So let's just look once it loads. Let's look at Aetna. The plan ending in -067 is not in here. So what am I supposed to do? When I log into the carrier portal, nothing indicates on the carrier portal that this plan is being terminated. So this would be an indication that I need to go and use my lookup tool to determine whether or not this plan is going to exist next year and what my options are. So once you log into this tool, you're going to go in and type in this contract ID from CMS, which, as you saw, I'm going to toggle back to it, was right here. So this is what you're searching. It's not in 2026, it's in 2025, so we have to go off of the 2025 information. So we would take this CMS ID and we would type it into the tool. And notice that there's several different counties, and then it tells us what happens. So here we have the carrier, we have the CMS code, we have the state, we have the county, we have the name of the plan, we have what the status is, what's happening to it. And it's telling us on a new sale, there is no compensation on new sales. And there's not going to be a renewal. So you're not going to get paid a renewal because this plan is being terminated. And if you scroll to the right, the system will tell you that you need to rewrite this plan. And then it will tell you what the carrier recommends you rewrite if they want to stay with Aetna. They don't have to, right? You're just going to go through a normal process of getting doctors, medications, etc. And then the carrier put out a bulletin. The email told us that this plan was being terminated, it's not being renewed, that we need to rewrite it. And then if you wanted to keep them with Aetna, what is the comparable plan that the carrier recommends? And you can take any other plan, and if it's on a carrier list with a update for 2026, this tool should be able to show it for you. So I just pasted another one in here. It was in an email from a different carrier. And again, remember, it takes a little while to load, but then it'll show you all the plans in the areas. So with this one, you'll see on here with this contract ID, you can narrow it down further by county because sometimes a contract ID will have multiple states and multiple counties, so you can refine it even further. With this one, with this carrier, what happens is that there's no commissions on new business. So notice here the outcome, if you wrote new business, would be non-commissionable. But if you wrote the plan prior to 2026, the renewal would continue. Since this is not crosswalking, there's no information here, and the system tells you that there's no action required for this particular plan. So that's how the tool works. The most important parts to remember is that for now, it only works with Google accounts, and it does take 10-15 seconds to deploy information because there's over 4,000 different entries, so it has to go through every entry. And then the system will populate it for you. You can either hit search or you can hit enter on your keyboard on any one particular plan. If that plan was emailed to us from a carrier, it will show up on this tool. So if you have any questions about this tool, please email me. A couple points to remember: Gmail only for now. The tool does take a little while to load information. If you get a timeout error, just hit OK and then hit enter again. If the plan exists in the system, it will only exist for the reason of there being a notification from the carrier for any one particular plan. If the system doesn't spit anything out, then that means that there's no update on any one particular CMS code that you've put in there. This will not show you any plans that did not get an update from the carriers, meaning that if it's okay to write, if nothing changed, then it's not going to show up in this tool. This tool only shows, if you will, bulletin updates on plans that are non-commissionable, non-renewing, reducing commissions, et cetera, and this tool will actually show you that information. It may take up to 10-15 seconds to load information. You could also refine your searches by state and by county if you get a longer list for any one particular CMS code. And again, the other thing is, I'm not here to train agents, so I'm not going to explain what you should do with any one particular plan. If you don't know what it means to rewrite somebody, or you don't know whether or not you're going to continue getting a renewal, which again, it's showing you in the system, those are questions that you need to ask your upline. I'm not going to entertain questions from agents on what you should do next. Again, that's between you and your upline. So I hope this tool helps you. It's been helping me in my agency here so far. We've been testing it actively. It will continue to get updated. So as we get more updates from carriers and as they change throughout the year, because we do see some things happen in January, February, March as the new year rolls out. So as the carriers update their information, we're gonna update this tool so that way you have the most latest up-to-date information, so that way you can behave accordingly depending on what happens with any one particular plan. If you have any questions, shoot me an email and I'll be more than happy to answer for you.